Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Urvashi and I work as a professional trainer and I provide trainings in front-end development technologies, that is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, JS and Redux. Welcome to the JavaScript 4th video of Let's Crack It with Urvashi series. So in today's video, we are going to talk about math and data object. These are the two topics. I have seen people neglecting this topic as a not so important topic, but I personally feel like even if you're going to React, if you're going to any external JavaScript library, this is the basic. Like if you're going to work with movement.js or if you're going to work with lodash.js, so you need this math and date object. So you really need to have knowledge of these two important objects, that is math and date, to even understand the advanced part of it, or rather including those JavaScript libraries. You really need to understand the core, the basic. So this is what we're going to discuss in today's video, math and data object. Before we go to the video, don't forget to check out my interview preparation material. I've added the description below, so do check that out. Now let's get to the video. Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to start with date and math object. So basically, these are predefined objects which are given to us by JavaScript. So they also have a predefined, just like it's object, so they will have predefined properties and methods that we're going to see today. So let's start with the math object first. So just like in mathematics, we have, some tasks, some mathematical calculation that we do on numbers. The same way we have to do that mathematical calculation using math object. So in math object, we have predefined methods and properties which will allow us to perform mathematical task on those numbers. And date, from the name itself, it's a date object which will allow us to work around with dates and times. And as I said, we have predefined methods and properties inside the math and date object. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code to see them. So here I have one .html file which has external math.date.js file that I've attached to this HTML file. So now, firstly, we are going to start with math object. So in this, let me create a variable. Let's say var x equal to 20. So this is my variable x equal to 20. As I said, these mathematical tasks are going to be performed on numbers. So we are going to write numbers. So I'm just writing all of it in console.log. It's your choice if you want to store them in a variable and then display. Right now we are just looking at the methods. So I'm just doing a console.log. So we get math.round first. So this will actually return the value round off to the nearest integer. So let's say if I pass, so you have to pass some parameters to these methods. So let's say if I pass 20.90, so the nearest integer to it will be returned. Next we have, so we are going to see its output in one go. So firstly, we have round and then we have math.par. So this POW is basically going to return the value of the two values that you're going to pass. Let's say if I pass 2, 3. So it is going to return me the value of 2 to the power 3. That is 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. That is going to be 8. So 2 to be multiplied 3 times. Then we have console.log of math.square root. In that, you just have to pass the value for which you want to find the square root of. Let's say I want to find the square root of 4. So I will get the value of that. So we have all these predefined methods. We don't have to write any logic. We just have to use these methods. Then we have math.abs. So abs basically the absolute value that you get, absolute positive value. For example, if I have minus 20 over here, so I will pass x. Now if you want to declare this value inside some variable, you can pass that variable over here as well. Otherwise, we can directly write this as well. It's your choice. Minus 20 is definitely going to return us the 20, positive 20 value. Then we have console.log of math. So we are math dot. So we are going to see all the values in one go, what they return to us. So in floor, you have to pass some decimal value. So this is going to return your value rounded down to the nearest integer. Then we have math dot seal. It is going to return the value rounded up to the nearest integer. Then we have console.log of math dot max. That means to get the maximum value. So just pass the values over here. Let's say these. So this will return you the maximum value. Just like maximum, we have minimum. Let me add the same set of values over here. Now let's see the output for these values first. So I have opened these side by side. So I'm just going to click on inspect console. So here we can see math.round. So nearest integer obviously to 20.90 is 21. Because if we say 20, then comes 20.5 and then comes 21. In between we have 20.1 and all, and after this we have 20.90 and all. So 20.90, the nearest integer to 20.9 is basically 21. So that is the reason we got 21 as the output over here. Then definitely power of 2 to the power 3, that is 2 multiplied by 2 3 times is basically 8. Then we have square root. Square root of 4 is definitely 2. So that is the reason we got 2. Then absolute value. As I said, we are passing some negative value and this will fetch us the positive value. That is going to be 20. Positive value. Floor, basically, it is going to return us the nearest integer round down to the nearest. For example, let's say I have 4, I have 5, and in between 4 and 5 values we have 4.1, 4.2, 4.5 and so on. So basically, even if it's 4.9, the downward, so downward towards the down, even from the name you can see floor. That means floor is something which is comes under our feet, and seal is something which is above our head. So upward is seal and downward is floor. So from that you can remember floor means up, floor downward, and downward basically means the downward integer value. So downward integer, even if I pass 4.9 over here, you will get a 4 value over here, because downward the value nearest integer in the downward is going to be 4, and the opposite is seal, that means upward. Even if you pass 7.3, the upward highest integer value is 8, so you will get 8 over here. So the difference between round, seal, floor is very important, because these three actually give you the round off integer value only, but the way they give the output is different depending upon what value you are passing. Then the maximum values in these three is definitely going to be 90 and the minimum is 34. Then we have some more methods as well. Let's say console.log of math.trunk. So this trunk is basically going to return the integer part. Let's say I will pass 89.68. So this will return the integer part. So here you will get the 89. That is the integer part always. Then we have console.log of math.py. So we have properties as well in this. Let's say math.py. We all know pi is a value 3.14. If you guys see, whenever in school time or in college time we guys used to do mathematical calculation, we used to consider 3.14, but actually it's a huge value. So this is a huge value that you have for the pi value. So you definitely need a accurate value. That is the reason we have this math.py, because if we have to consider, we are going to consider 3.14, but original value is this long. So that is the reason we have this pi property to get this value. Then we have very important method, that is console.log of math.random. Now math.random is basically going to return a value between 0 and 1. A value between 0 and 1. That means it is going to be a decimal value always. That too between 0 and 1. And if I refresh every time, you will get a different value. That means it's a random value you can generate inside a JavaScript using math. We have again more methods, but these are the majorly the main ones which we should know. Next we have date object. Just like here we saw different methods properties, we are going to see that here in this date object. The very first thing we have here is the creation of date object. That is very important. So here, let me create a object. Let's say var d is equal to new date. So I have a date object now. And if I do console.log of d, this is how I can console. So this new keyword is basically used to create this date object, and now date and this round braces is coming. You can consider it something like a method for now, but actually it's in the back end. It is nothing but a constructor. We are going to see this topic in detail in ES6. For now, just consider var d is equal to the new keyword is also a way to create a object, this date object over here. Date, these are predefined keywords that you have to use. It's D capital A T E, date, D capital, and round braces is coming. Now let me run this. So if I refresh, here you guys can see Sunday and the date accordingly you got. So currently whatever is the date, you got that date right now in the system. So you get the date by default according to the browser that you have. Currently in the browser, whatever the date is, you will get the output accordingly. We can set the data as well. That is, let's say if I want to have var, let's say y equal to new date. Now we can pass the values to this date object as well to get a particular value. Let's say now it depends how many values you are passing. So generally there are 7 parameters you can pass to it. So these are defined in these orders, like year, then come month, then day, then hour, then minute, then second, then we have millisecond. So we have these very values in one go here. So depending upon what value you are passing. So firstly, if I'm passing, let's say some value 2021, so it is going to be my year. The next we pass month. Month, let's say 6th month. Then date is 24th, 3, 4, or 30. Let's say 8, and then let's say 0. So that means I'm passing year, month, day, hour, minute, second, and millisecond. This is how I can pass the value. And if I do console.log of y, if I refresh, you can see Saturday, July 24, 2021 at this time, like this. So you can basically set the values as well. Now let's have some condition. Let's say var is equal to new date. Let's say I'm passing two values, let's say 2021 and 5. Then it is going to consider these values as year and month. This is very important. Then it is going to consider these values as year and month if you're passing only two values. Now let's say I'm passing three values. Let's say I is equal to new. I'm just keeping a random variable names. Variable name should always be some meaningful names. And now just to show you guys the output, I'm adding a random name, but we can add a proper name as well. Here we add year, month, and then the day. Let's say 24. So here I'm passing year, month, and day. Even if you guys want to remember, just remember these 7 parameters. Even if you see out of like first two, year, month, date, I've taken these from here only. Year and month. Two values means first two values. Three values means first three values. Let's see the output for these two. So here we can see line number 27 and line number 28. This is the value. And as I said, remember these 7 parameters. If from here only, if you see combination comes, 7 values means 7 values are present in parameter. That means first 7 values. 6 values, that means first 6 values. There can be 5 values as well. So that means first 5 values. If there are 2 values, that means first 2 values. So simply just remember the sequence of these 7 parameters.
And always remember, if there is just one single parameter, let's say var u is equal to new date. If there is just one single parameter, let's say this, that means this value is in milliseconds. Always remember, this value is going to be a millisecond value. Add some proper value. So here you can see it's a millisecond value. And by default, it starts from 1st January 1970. So by default in JavaScript, it starts from 1st January 1970. And accordingly sent to the time. So this is the millisecond value. So if you have just one parameter, it is going to be a millisecond value. Always. Otherwise, it is going to be a combination starting from this, from first till end, these 7 parameters. And if one parameter is there, then it is definitely going to be a millisecond value. Then we have conversion of dates. Let's say conversion of dates, that is very, very important, because if you see your application is something which is going to be on a cloud, that means a common place where everyone can access your website. For example, if you guys access Facebook, right? Even let's say someone who is living in India can are accessing that website. Someone who is living in London is accessing that website. Someone who is living in USA accessing that website. So definitely, according to your country, you should be able to see that time. So this timing is very important. That what time you're seeing. Let's say USA people are seeing the time in their system, in their website, according to their country. And let's say in India, Indian people are looking at the time according to their time zone. So time zone is very, very important, that you should always set. These are the things which are always considered while creating a real-time application. So let's say console.log of D. So I'm just considering D object that we created at the top, that is this one. So D dot, I want to convert this time to UTC. So just say UTC string. That is universal coordinated time. So you will get that string. Now if I write console.log of ISO format, if I want time, e dot to ISO format. So all these are methods. So this is going to be a ISO format date. So let's run this. So you will get ISO time over here, and you will get the UTC time over here. And if you see IST, Indian Standard Time, that is the by default I got it, because that's the Indian time zone. Now next we have, if you want to return, or like this date is there, definitely these dates are there, right? But to have a more readable format, we can write d dot to date string. This will return the more readable format of a date. So here you will get Sunday this time. So this is a better way to see the date. So this is what we have in date. We have some get methods as well, like to get the current date, current time. So all those methods we have already. So you want to get the information about your date object. This is how you can get. So simply just say console.log of, for example, d dot get full year. So you will get the current year. Let's say console.log of d dot get month. So this will get the month value. So I'm just writing all the methods. We'll see the output together. Then we have get date. So these method is something which are predefined and given to us. Whenever we need it in our code, we can directly use them. And use case is definitely going to be whenever you are fixing the time zones according to the country, you generally use these. Let's say get minutes. Let's say console.log of d dot get seconds. d dot get milliseconds, get the console.log of d dot get time. So now let's see the output. So here we can see we got 2021. So you will get the year as 4 digits, that is year. Then you will get the month, that is get month. So this month is going to be a number that is in the range of 0 and 11. 0 to 11. So that means 0 is representing January and 11 is representing December. This is very important. Then we have get date. So date is going to be in the between 1 to 31. So you will get a day as 1 to 31. So these ranges are very important in this. Okay, we need to comment this. So R's value is something you will get in the range of 0 to 23. So let me just add the ranges 0 to 23. In minutes, you will get the range from 0 to 59. In seconds, you will get a range from again 0 to 59. For milliseconds, from 0 to 999. And days is basically weekday, that is from 0 to 6. And then you will get the get time, basically you get the millisecond time from the 1st January. So here you get millisecond value from, as I said, from 1st Jan 1970. So let me just add comments. So these ranges are very important. That is how these values are coming. And here you get the year value basically. Now here you can see. Now here you can see according to today's date, you get all these values. Year, month, date, hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds, day, and the milliseconds from the 1st January 1970. And this day, 0 is basically going to represent your Sundays. 0 is going to represent your Sunday. And these minutes, 0, that means 0th minute, 1 minute, 2 minute, like that. And this hours, that means 0 to 23. And here, first month is January, that is 0, and then December is going to be 11th number. It is going to, so if it's returning 11, that means December is going on. So these are the get methods we have. The same way we have set methods. A set method is basically to set the values. So just like you have these values get, just replace get with set. Just to set the date values, we have set methods. Let's say I want to do console log of, let's say d dot set date. So you are just going to say, let's say 15. So let me do one thing. Let me remove this and we'll see the output in one go. So d dot set date. So set date is set the date as a number. So pass values. This is very important. Here you have to pass values in from 0 to 31. Range is very important. Like I said, from here. The same range is going to work here as well. D dot set full year. Full year means let's say 2020. Whatever you want to set. D dot set hours. In hours, just pass the hour value. Then we have d dot set milliseconds. In milliseconds, just pass let's say 2000. Then we have d dot set minutes. Minutes, just pass let's say 40. Range is very important. Range, whatever I'm passing, the range is considered in these ranges. Same range that I mentioned above. D dot set month. month. Now let me just pass 10 nd dot set seconds. Seconds is going to be, let's say, 34. And here I will just say console.log of d. So if I refresh, you can see the output. So whatever the values I have set, you will get the values over here. With that, we have UTC date methods as well. You guys can practice that. After practicing these, you can practice that, as like assignment, like you guys can try UTC date methods. But these are the major methods that you have in math and the data object. So see you guys in the next video. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching my videos. I hope you all are enjoying this series. Let's crack it with Urvashi, and it is helping you a lot in learning JavaScript with a new perspective. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my channel with your friends, family, aspiring developers, and working professionals. And don't forget to check out my interview preparation material. I've added the description below, so do check that out. Thank you.